Thanks for joining me on another Rescue 101. This is a part of my Tia Talk podcast, and this is my mini-series where I'm discussing on how to start your own dog rescue and the ins and outs of what I have been through in over 32 years of running my own. So this particular episode, you're probably going to hear me get angry. It's a very, very important part, and it's probably the most important part, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to use somebody for an example. I won't mention names. This is going to be talking about temperament testing and giving a dog enough time to decompress before you adopt that dog out. Get time to know the dog, okay? Hold that thought. Very recently, a dog rescuer that I know of, we have personal experience with, she has a nonprofit. She runs the dog rescue by herself. She takes in one at a time kind of thing. We saw her post on her social media page that a Rottweiler in a completely different state was going to be euthanized for biting a kid in the family. And they'd had this dog since it was a puppy. And the picture of this Rottweiler it's got a muzzle on, and boy, the dog does not look happy. Like, you can see the eyes, man. I'm like, woo! I wouldn't go near that dog with that muzzle on. Even with the muzzle on, it was pissed. So this dog rescuer goes on this crusade to rescue this dog. Okay? And she puts in her post, this dog is going to come into our care, meaning her rescue. Now, mind you, the dog's in a different state than she is. She's here in Louisiana, the dog's in Virginia, but the dog is going to come into her care. Well, I start to see all the comments under the post. And this one particular one is a man who says, I love Rottweilers. I have experience. I'll adopt them. And they're like, okay. And I'm sitting here going, this is not going to end up good. Okay? So mind you, this responsible dog rescuer who's in Louisiana here, dog's in Virginia, she's never met him, obviously. She pays somebody to go pick up the dog and drive it to another state to the dog's new home. Okay. She posts a picture of the dog in transport in the vehicle. He's in a fold-down crate. Still with the muzzle on. Okay? So obviously, they still haven't taken the muzzle off the dog. And the dog looks really angry. I'll try to find pictures, but he looks angry. So, within, I'm assuming, a very short time of the dog arriving to his new home, this ding-a-ling puts out another post on her social media page. I have bad news. Within minutes of arriving, the Rottweiler, savagely attacked his adopter. I'm paraphrasing, but that type of word was used. And if not for the transport person pulling the dog off of him, this would have been fatal. The guy got mauled. He got bit. Now, I don't know that the transporter had a relationship with the dog. I don't know how that all happened, but the transporter managed to get the dog off of the adopter. What's wrong with this picture? People. Do not be Captain Sabaho. That's what we call them. These people who run around just, seeing a picture of a dog and saying, oh, he looks great, get him a home. You, as a responsible dog rescuer, need to take that dog into your care. And you need to give that dog time to decompress, which can take up to a month. I'm just giving you a time frame to truly get to know the dog. Then you need to properly temperament test that dog. And by that I mean, you can even do it. Take it out in the public, walk it around other dogs, walk it near children, just seeing how the dog reacts. If you need to, hire a reputable behaviorist to come assess the dog. This is what you need to do. If you do what this other rescuer did with this Rottweiler, just don't bother watching the rest of my videos. You are irresponsible And like this woman, you're going to get somebody seriously hurt. What if that adopter had had a child out there? Yeah. So this is the most, I just can't stand these people who look at a picture and go, okay, yes, I know what that dog needs. You need to know that dog. That dog needs to be in your home. And it needs to be with you for even a short amount of time. Okay? And give it a couple of weeks at least, preferably longer. I told you. Man, I'm angry. Here's the thing. I hope this adopter sues her, even though she has nothing. Because that's what's going to happen. You then become a liability. Okay? Now, next to the pit bull, the Rottweiler has it pretty bad. So now it's, puts out a bad image for Rottweilers. And I love Rottweilers. If I didn't have pit bulls, I would have had Rottweilers. So if that had been a pit bull, that would have made it to the news. Yeah. And this woman, by the way, is a pit bull rescuer. Yeah. She can't even handle her own damn dogs. Yeah. Don't get me started on her. She is a dog rescuer that should not be doing dog rescue. And when I mean she can't handle her own dogs, I mean I've watched her hold the leash and get dragged to the ground. Walks 3 dogs at one time, gets dragged to the ground. That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other podcast. Ooh. Giving myself some ideas here. So yeah. Decompression, temperament testing. And if that doesn't scare you, liability. Now, last question before we end this episode. What would you do if that Rottweiler was in your care and that happened? What are you going to do with dogs that, in my opinion, are unadoptable? You're going to pay thousands of dollars to send it to some idiot trainer who's going to take all your money and slam the dog on the ground and be the alpha? Or are you going to send the dog to doggy heaven and maybe get a dog that doesn't need as much? It might be easier to adopt out. Here's the thing. No judgment. You do what you want. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you keep holding on to all of these dogs like this, that's how hoarding begins. So 4 things for you to think about on this episode. Can you hold on to that dog enough for it to decompress? Can you hold on to that dog long enough to do a proper temperament test? Are you willing to assume the liability if the dog you adopt out harms somebody? And lastly, what are you going to do with a dog that has become close to impossible to adopt out and keeps biting people or has bitten somebody? Like in this case with the Rottweiler, it was severe. It was severe. 4 things for you to think about tonight. Have a great day. Welcome to the world of dog rescue.